Hello and welcome back to Onshape. Today we're going to look at how to create an exploded view and call out balloons. Now we have our selfie stick here that we've been working with. I want to click on this option here. I'm going to highlight over. It's going to say an exploded view. Now it's going to give me a brief description of what an exploded view is. We can learn some more here, give us more of an in-depth description, but what we're going to do is see how to pull this apart so we can see each individual piece in our drawing. I want to click Add an Exploded View, and that's going to start my Explode editing window. I want to go ahead and minimize this so I don't have to worry about looking at it. I want to click on this piece here. Now, if you recall, we did anchor this by fixing it to a position, but since this is an exploded view, I am able to move it. So I'm going to drag it back, make sure we have plenty of room here, and we'll see a dialog box open up. Now I can set the exact distance I want this to go, but for now, I just want a good visual appealing distance, and I'm going to hit a green check mark. I want to click on the next piece of the selfie stick, and I'm going to drag it back. Again, not completely touching, but far enough away from all of our other parts, and a green check mark. And I'm going to do this with each individual piece in the selfie stick. I want to pull these a little bit forward so I can kind of open that up and I'll be able to see more of what's going on behind. Again, making sure to hit that green check mark after each piece. Now what this is going to let me do is again open this up so I'll be able to see each individual piece that was in the selfie stick. And we're going to see the advantage of that in a moment. And I'm going to pull back that little pin last and hit my green check mark. Now, if I come over here, I see I have all these steps laid out, 1 through 8, and I'm going to click Done. Now, if I right-click on the Explode, I can hit Activate Explode 1, and it's going to activate for me. And I'm just going to leave it saved as Explode 1 and make sure, again, I select Done. Now, over here, I have my drawing. I was going to load this. This is a drawing we worked on before. And I'm going to go over to Insert View, and I have the option for Front and an explode position, but it's set to default, and I do see Explode 1 listed. Now, in the event this does not work, you may need to refresh this view. So let's just delete this from here. We're going to look at that again. I'm going to click refresh, and what that's going to do is any changes I may have made to this drawing, it will add in. So sometimes that explode view may not show up if the drawing's already open. So let's just double check, make sure we still have it. We're going to do an isometric view because we want it to be as an isometric drawing. I'm going to select Explode 1, and I'm going to try to place that over here. So let's see if I can get my drawing to work. There we go. So we have a very large drawing here. I'm just going to double click on it, and notice it is far too large for us. So I'm going to change this down to 1 to 6 and see how that looks. That looks much more appropriate. So I'm going to hit my green check mark. I'm going to drag this up to a reasonable position. Now it does give me my scale of 1 to 6. It's obviously smaller than the actual isometric drawing that I have here. And I can adjust these if I want so I have more room in different areas. But what I want to see here is I have all my individual parts and my part list. Now these relate directly to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to find my balloon, and that's going to let me create a call out. So here I have my balloon for a call out, and I'm going to select this part here. And I want to drag out. Now notice what we see in the dialog box that says table item number. Well, we don't have to replace that. That's actually a command that's coming down here and saying on the table, item number 3 is the bottom shaft. I can also come here and add another call out. I can do this with each individual part, and it will label it on the part list. Now this can be very useful if you're trying to figure out which parts you're supposed to use on the part list. So instead of trying to put the names on each one of these parts, which would be hard and would be difficult to see, I can create a drawing that identifies all 9 parts using the balloons and then relates them directly to our part list.